Once upon a time, Monica Lewinsky was the subject of some pretty vile jokes. Now she's turning the script on its head and going full fashion model, basically. The activist is now the face of the clothing brand Reformation. But there's a twist. She's also getting out the vote. Joining me now is Catherine Rampell, CNN commentator and Washington Post columnist. Catherine, this is literally titled, "You've Got the Power." What do you make of her using this platform? I mean, she's doing it on a political topic in some ways, but using her platform for this.
Well, I like that, unemployment is low. We're headed towards a government shutdown. Baggy jeans are back in fashion. It's all 90s. Of course, Monica Lewinsky is now the subject of the day again. Look, Monica Lewinsky is someone who made some really stupid choices when she was basically a kid. I say kid because I think about what I was like in my early 20s. And it defined her image. It destroyed her life in ways that were not the case, of course, for the other participant for whom we should have had higher expectations of. And she has really struggled, I think, in the years since to escape that scandal and that branding and that public shaming that the country put her through and that many of us were complicit in. She's tried many times to reinvent herself, being a reality TV star at one point, hosting a show, designing handbags, whatnot.
But I mean, this feels like the ultimate in like twirling on your haters. She looks great.
She's very glamorous.
I feel like that first one in all red is quite a statement about the way that she was treated, as you said, as a young woman when the man didn't really have any consequences.
No, she looks great.
She has, I mean, maybe it hasn't worked up until this point, but she seems like she's turned it on its head.
I think actually her most successful self-reinvention or career phase was when she spoke out about cyberbullying, which was about 10 years ago. That was really compelling because she is almost uniquely qualified, right, to be talking about the consequences of a national pylon, essentially, bullying of someone and public shaming. And I thought she was very brave to have talked about that. While I obviously don't admire choices that she made in her youth, I thought it was very admirable that she was able to come out of that with a positive message. In this particular case, I think she looks great. I think the clothes look great. Do I think it's actually going to have any effect on the election? No.
I do wonder how much of this is, I mean, this is a brand.
This is a brand. This is a marketing exercise.
Really about getting out the vote? How much of it is it about kind of getting a lot of attention?
I wrote my college thesis of all things about these get out the vote efforts that were trying to make voting seem sexy, and they are generally useless. They're glamorous and sometimes self-aggrandizing. And again, she looks great. The clothes look great. It's not going to make a whit of difference in this election.
Is it because people just don't care about celebrities asking them to vote?
I think it's that's not a compelling reason to vote. The compelling reason to vote is to feel like you have a stake in the outcome, that you understand what the stakes are, what the consequences are if one candidate wins versus another, and that your vote really matters.
Is this also, there's also a generational thing about this real quick. I mean, this Gen Z or whatever, I mean, they are probably much more amenable to turning this around for Monica Lewinsky than older people were.
Well, they didn't live through the era, obviously, when she was the butt of these horrible jokes, when she was sort of a national laughingstock and went through this horrible, horrible experience. Maybe there is more empathy, having these kids lived through, young adults, living through an era where there are more opportunities to be sort of publicly shamed through social media.
Yeah, Catherine Rampell, thank you so much.